Hello, I'm Mark,
I'm Casey.
and today we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to police departments and using Teslas. But first, let's roll that title. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk a little bit about police departments and Teslas, and some that like them, and some that are having some issues with them. However bad they may be or not be. But the article, of course, that we're going to be reciting from this time was from Drive Tesla Canada. And of course, the link is in the description if you'd like to read the article yourself. But we wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of different police departments and polar opposites of what they feel about Tesla as a patrol car and use in their fleet. The first that they talked about was in La Crescent, Minnesota. Is this department has gotten a couple of Teslas, and they have been met with widespread approval. They had a vehicle that was introduced in December of 2023, making the first electric car in their county. And according to the chief, the Model Y has been well received by officers and the community itself. In an interview, he was describing the Tesla as a souped-up golf cart that runs on a battery. And don't some golf carts run on batteries, I believe?
Most of them,
yeah. They enjoy the regen braking system, which extends the battery life and, of course, reduce the amount of physical brakes and saves them money in maintenance. And another thing it does, of course, is that having individual driver profiles benefits the department as well, because they can just set up multiple officers that use the car. When they take their shift, they go in there, press the button, everything adjusts to that officer, and they're off and running. And that's a nice little feature that saves them time at the beginning of their shift and end of their shift.
And their phone keys, because now they don't have to keep cutting keys or keep track of them, because they're not going to leave their personal phone anywhere on purpose.
Exactly.
And it's easy enough to take it out if something does happen. Their phone.
And this department in Minnesota has only had their vehicle for just under a year, and they're enjoying it. I can also think about Beggarsville, Indiana. Our friend there, Chief Todd, who has now a fleet of, I believe, 14 Teslas, and they are saving fuel by quite a bit with 14 vehicles. In fact, so many savings when it comes to fuel and maintenance is that they've been able to hire additional officers to patrol the streets. So that the car keeps giving back. Where, of course, in a gasoline car, you burn the fuel once and that's it. You got to put it in again. So this is a big plus. But Casey, talk a little bit about Menlo Park, California, which of course is kind of strange to have them having issues when they're in the center of the Tech Valley. What's Menlo telling us?
Well, they're complaining about lighting controls or too many switches. So I'm wondering at this point if they're even using the unplugged performance or some of those other ones that we saw, like Monroe looked at, that didn't seem as well done. And
so they're part of their problem could be the outfitter that's putting the police components in their vehicles.
Right. Yeah. If they're living enough to go to the touchscreen to turn on your flashers, that doesn't sound like. That sounds like they went another step and also didn't test it before they put it in. So not the department, but the outfitter. So that seems like it can be fixed with some sexy buttons. Here's the light on and off button. It's on your right hand side of the wheel on the back, and here's the other one, and it's ready to go. And this one's on the back of the screen or on the roof, or you would work with your officers and see how they're using it and what's ergonomic for them all, and we could do those quick items that need a one hit. And then the other stuff that's built into the car, you could say wipers on, wipers off with voice control, or leave it on auto. I guess maybe if you're staking out a car wash.
Well, I don't know. Wipers on auto.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
You have some dry wipes going on there.
I've got some issues with wipers still, even though
Yeah.
they've been fixed like 4 separate times.
I give you that one. But it sounded like, at least for those items, they could use somebody to help them out rather than trying to go to like the. It says they might explore the Blazer EV or other options like that, which they don't come with any of that stuff either. And a lot of stuff's on the screen, but it also comes in a police package, which has all the stuff pre-wired and ready to go for any outfitter that they just use the same stuff they use on all the other gas cars, and they don't have to do anything new. They don't have to practice doing anything right because it's just the same thing they've done for the last 70 years. And there's a comfort to that, but you're in Menlo Park. There are resources to make this happen.
Like we said, this is tech central.
Right.
Menlo
Illinois
Park.
and Minnesota.
They're in the middle of Silicon Valley, right?
Right. They're in the middle of cornfields, and they made it happen. No offense to you guys, and I know you might not actually be, but on the map, you're in the middle of nowhere, and they're right there in Silicon Valley, and they can't get a tech startup work. Come on. So I had proposed before the show, like, is this really like a secret veto, like somebody who can't say no Teslas, but they can make up a whole bunch of problems to make them go away? That's also possible.
Yeah, and I can definitely see Tesla's viewpoint on this is they're not making any changes to their cars at all. Like it's the outfitters, the police outfitters that are making the modifications. Tesla certainly, I could say, could help the situation by maybe making a police package or start going down the road of developing a police package that they could implement with probably software. With a number of things. But right now, Tesla, of course, is focused on millions of units, trying to get out as many as possible and being able to weather this high interest rate scenario that's been hitting us with lackluster sales compared to the previous year. But I think that this is another thing that Tesla, as a fledgling group that's growing in size, should start considering. Just like we mentioned in the weekly show, that maybe they should consider the ability to collect data and share it with police in a different manner because of the number of vehicles that are on the road and video that's being collected. This is another scenario where Tesla could start to get their ducks in a row for a police package. Doesn't have to be all that great at the beginning, but start laying the groundwork as to what you'd like to accomplish, how it could be accomplished, and what things you could put in place to start that particular rollout. So I think that would be a plus for Tesla and would help them down the road.
Another thing they could do is open up like an API or an access program for upfitters and say, hey, you know what? Here's where you can install your own programs. We might let you know when we're going to change stuff. We might not, and we're definitely not going to test it for you. But here it is, and you can have an app store just for you guys because they already have the fleet program right now where if you're in Turo or Uber or if you trust your tax officer with your everything in the car, they get a little more in-depth access to the car and telemetry and stuff like that. So they can just open up like we've got the toolbox, we've got the toy box, we've got the games. Just open up one more little blank screen and let them do whatever with it. And if it breaks, it breaks. And that would be a start.
Or even that department or that group that's going to work on this. Maybe you have a few key people. Give them the ability to reach out to some police departments that already publicize they're using the vehicle. Put a questionnaire out there. What would improve your engagement with the vehicle? What are 3 things that you think is missing? What is the top priority? Start collecting information from the customers and the officers that are actually using it, and you can use that to build this program. To make things better and, of course, to improve your sales as time goes along as well.
Exactly. It's an incremental sales cost versus making a whole new car. You don't need an actual separate police package. You can make a police software. Yes, it costs you a developer to use time, but now you're talking about high interest rates, whatever. They don't care about interest rates. They're a government. you can now be looking at an additional several dozen thousand vehicles per year versus chasing down, like, oh, we lowered the interest rate. You want some 1.99? You want a referral program? Use Mark's referral program. Rather than having to fight for these sales, they can just collect some easy sales. They've already proven they want to just drive consumer cars with minimal upfit, and Tesla doesn't have to upfit them. Maybe later on they could, just to keep all that money in house rather than letting it go to Bob's upfitter shop. It's on them, but they're a little too hands off for it now versus what they could be doing as a Tesla shareholder.
Yeah. So with that, I'd like it to put it out to our audience. I'd like to hear from them. Have you ever seen a Tesla patrol car? And if so, where were you? What area of the country? What city were you in? Where was that patrol car from? Kind of interesting because right now it's really spreading. I didn't even know about this Minnesota department that got their vehicle just 8 months ago or so. It's something that is hitting the news feeds pretty well weekly. So there's a lot of people catching on, looking at the white papers of other police departments that are having success. It's just kind of weird that Menlo Park are having some issues and looking at leaving the program. It's a head scratcher. It really is.
Hopefully they get their stuff together and don't end up just like giving up a great car for something that just has switches or whatever is easier for their outfitter. But
exactly. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up on the video. Press that subscribe button. It really helps us out. A small channel like ours, we would appreciate it. And of course, if you're buying a Tesla, you've got a referral code you can use down here and get yourself $1,000 off the price of the car. Or if you're in Canada, you get $1,400 off the car, $1,300. So we certainly would like you to do that. That helps the channel as well. So thanks so much if you do. That's right. That's right. Casey, what do you got as shout-outs for the group?
We'll see you Wednesday for the live show.
Live show Wednesday. That's coming up real short. So get that on the calendar. With that, we will say goodnight and talk to you later on the Tesla Life at a different time.
We'll see you there.